Alright gang, welcome back to our Triple Threat Challenge here in Hutan Pantai. It is now February, as you can see, 9:31 in the morning. And we've got a big old trailer load of stuff we're bringing over here to the temple. We're going to be kind of running this little strategy here for a little while. Mostly because, as all of you have correctly stated in the comments many times, the temple is insane in how long it takes to actually complete it. So, we're just going to help it out a little bit. So what I did was I went and purchased a ton of cement bags, as you can see, 20,000 liters to be exact, a ton of roof plates, 1,500 liters to be exact, and then I picked up some planks long, some regular planks, wood beams, etc. From our sawmill. So we're just going to try to help things along here, and since we do make some money back when we sell stuff to the temple, I figured why not utilize the amount of money that we kind of started with here in February and pretty much use most of it to buy some stuff to put into the temple itself so we can get it moving along a little bit quicker, hopefully, in the long run. Now, I do have a worker already started on harvesting one of our fields, and we will talk about that here in just a minute. Let's go ahead and turn those in. There we go, $225,814, which is awesome. So they should have a plethora of items now ready to go. They are still, I think, working on the planks along. They are. Planks along and cement bags are still being worked there. But now they have a ton of other things. Now, I do know for a fact these are the 5 main ingredients that are required for the temple. The cement bags, the roof plate, the planks long, wood beam, and regular planks. So we are going to have all 3 of the wood variety turned on from our sawmill. We are going to utilize every tree that we have on that hill and try to get as much possible out of that to be able to go ahead and turn in here. And then, as we've been doing with the cement bags and the roof plates, we will just be buying those whenever we need to, right? So how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. Today is going to be a relatively busy day. We've got a couple of things to do today. Mainly, we've got to re-drill one of the fields. Well, really both of the fields, I guess. We got to re-drill both the fields from the last episode. We are currently harvesting the long grain rice field, so that's good. The worker's taking care of that for us. Oh, sorry, I said that incorrectly. We have to re-drill the small long grain rice field from the last episode. We need to spray the bigger field from the last episode. My apologies there. Probably put a second application of fertilizer down on that as well. The other 2 fields we purchased that are further away, that are part of the actual objective here, or the goals here, they are not ready, so we're just kind of waiting on them to be ready. And if you just stumbled across this for whatever reason and you don't know the rules here, they're all down below in the description. But long story short, it's 3 randomized threats, or objectives as I call them. One being we've already completed, which was you randomized all the different animals that require maintenance, and we ended up getting goats, and we've got the goats down already. Threat number 2 was you had to randomize all the different crops, and at the start of the game, whatever fields had that crop in it, you then had to mark those down as fields you had to purchase, and then once you purchased those fields, you would then subsequently have to drill that crop, whatever you got, and in our case we got green beans, and then also harvest them at least one time, which I'm happy that we got green beans, but the harvester itself is $500,000, so we're a long ways away from getting to that. And then finally, the third threat or objective was around your loan amount. We got kind of lucky. You could have got like $1 million or $750,000. We got $500,000. So currently, I think we have about is it $400,000 left to pay off of it? I think somewhere around in there. I don't know the exact amount that we have left. We can actually look at that really quick. We have $400,000 left to pay off. That's correct. We've been kind of working towards trying to pay that off a little bit more because we had yet to really spend a whole lot of effort on that. So we're going to continue that quest of trying to pay off more of that as we move along here. Now, the worker here in the harvester is full, so we need to get the trailer out here so we can unload him. And I don't know where my trailer is. Where is my trailer? Where did I put my trailer at? I almost always see the trailer here. Where did I put it at? It's over here. There it is. So how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. Things are good here. All things considered. The grass field here is also ready to harvest, by the way. We may or may not do it today. Really depends on the time that we have. What I'd like to do is potentially get a weeder for this field over here instead of utilizing a herbicide sprayer. We're not going to get rid of the herbicide spray or anything like that, so don't worry, that's not going away, but it would save us a little bit of money by buying one of those. Obviously, we have to, you know, spend the money outright, but in the long run, it will save us some money to go that approach. So, yeah. We'll probably start every episode off. I think I might have mentioned this to an extent, but I think from moving forward, every episode we're going to kind of start off with taking a bunch of stuff to the temple, more than likely. That way we're actually doing something towards the temple every single episode, and since we make money back anyway, it almost seems worth it just to go ahead and do it that way, right? Why not? Let me whip a Yui here. And we'll unload this into the silo. It is February. I don't think there's going to be anything out there really for us right now to, unfortunately, tackle as far as selling goes. I don't think there's anything that's really good to sell in February. But we've got 10,000 liters of long grain in there. It's going to be more now when we start dumping this. And then 5,763 liters of canola. So I know for a fact that none of those are best to sell right now. Canola is not until, well, November, technically. And long grain rice is in September. So it's pretty much as bad as it possibly could be right now. So we will not be selling the long grain rice today. So I'm going to hook up the Challenger here to the drill. And I'm going to get a worker started on drilling that field right there. The other long grain rice field. And then we're going to look at, you know, buying a hoe or a weeder or something like that to take care of the weeds in that field there. So we want long grain rice. There we go. Go ahead and turn this on. Get the worker out in here and get the worker started. And, yep, that works for me. And get started. So we're going to jump on the John Deere now. And what we're going to do with the John Deere is we're actually going to get the fertilizer spreader out immediately, and we're going to get to work on the fertilizing. Now, I believe, like I said, this field will need a second application. It does. It does need a second application, so we'll take care of that, along with going ahead and fertilizing this field right here, because it's going to need its first application, because that drill does not have the ability to put down fertilizer at the same time. Now, one thing we might want to consider doing here in the near future, if not this episode, another one in the near future, is putting down... Oh, we need some more fertilizer. Wait a minute, we need more fertilizer. That's not going to be enough. Potentially putting down, potentially upgrading the drill into another one that has the ability to put down fertilizer. Now it's a point more than anything at this point about trying to save our time a little bit, if you will, right? I do not want lime, and evidently we're putting lime in here. Wonderful. Let me move these pallets out of the way. All right, we're underway here. We're going to take care of putting the fertilizer down here, and then we will eventually move over to the field that the worker is currently drilling, and we might do it simultaneously. I would assume we're going to get this done before the worker finishes that. But realistically, where I was trying to go before I was rudely interrupted by the fact that it started putting lime and fertilizer together, we want to potentially upgrade our drill for something else, right? We want to upgrade it to the, a drill that actually has the ability to do fertilizer and seed at the same time. That's going to save us time in the long run, and it's just going to help us out tremendously here on the farm. So that's a to be added soon addition, I guess is how I'll put it. Yeah, hopefully you're all doing well today. Things are good here for the most part. Everything's going as good as it possibly can, all things considered. Looks like the trip that I had to go, I think I was talking about this prior. I said I had 2 trips I had to go to for work in Toronto. The one looks like it was canceled in May, so that's good. That's one less thing I have to do. Looks like the one in June is still on, though, so I guess I will be going up there in June. But otherwise, things are good. Things are good. So we're going to do the fertilizing here on this field, and then once we're done with that, like I said, we will Well, we're probably going to look at it right now, as a matter of fact. We're going to look in at the shop right now and see if there's anything out there. Anything in the used market? Ooh, there's a drill out here, gang. And that does seed and fertilizer, and it's only 55,000. Ooh. 270 horsepower. Do we have 270 horsepower? I think that might be the biggest problem we're dealing with, is we don't have 270 horsepower. We do not. 225 on the Challenger. There was a tractor out here in the used market, too. Man, that's expensive, though. Might be worth the upgrade, though. That actually might be worth the upgrade. We'd be going to a 6-meter width, which would definitely help. I think right now it's like a 3-meter width, I think. So we'd double that, which would mean that would cut our time in half to do it. Which means we have a little bit more time to do the other things, right? It's a 4-meter width, excuse me. It's a 4-meter width. I thought it was a 3-meter width. Still, would nearly double it, right? That might be something to think about here. We'll have to think about it as we carry along here. Obviously, where are you going? Okay, hopefully that... Alright, whatever. Obviously, that would not be utilized today because the worker is nearly almost done with that field as it is. But in the future, that would be extremely useful to have. Especially for, you know, the size of this field, right? So we might have to look into that a little bit more and see if we can make it work. I think we could make it work. It would take up most of the money, though, which would, you know, hurt us a little bit as far as the temple portion goes, right? Buying stuff at the beginning of the temple. But there's a chance there. All right. The worker is full, so let me go ahead and drop this off really quick. We will pick up the trailer here with the John Deere and go unload the worker there so the worker can continue on. Looks like we are going to have to stop the worker. They are facing the wrong way, so let's get all that taken care of. I got the worker set back up here. Obviously, as you can see, we did get a little hail damage here. That's a little unfortunate. We will have to try to plow that up and take care of that so we can make sure we get the full yield when it comes time to re-drill this field. Likely won't be in this episode, but possibly the next episode. Well, not even possibly. It probably will be the next episode. Alright, I don't know where I'm going to here, but let's get back where we're supposed to be going here, Z, huh? Let's get together, buddy. So what was I talking about before we were interrupted there? The drill, we already talked about the drill. We talked about the tractor potentially. Nope. I do not with the worker. I don't know why it does that. For some reason it thinks whenever I unhook from it and I hook back up, it should stay on the worker, but I feel like it should be smart enough to know that I don't want it to be on a worker, but maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Anyway, don't really remember where I was going with all of that, but anyway. So we're going to knock some trees down today as well and put them into the sawmill. Now, the sawmill is not hurting by any means. It still has enough wood in there to survive for another episode or two. But I want to knock some more down. I want to take care of some more. We've got 2,242 liters, so actually it's probably just enough for one more episode. But that's okay. We will knock down some more today to put over there. 2,234 liters of wood at current, and almost 2,000 liters of wood chips. So when winter comes back around for those wood chips, that's going to be a good one for us, right? We're going to make some extra money off of that. Speaking of wood chips, I know they're normally it's December, January, I think, but we should take a look and see. Let me turn back around here. Take a look and see if we can see what the price is right now. It might be worth it to go sell them right now. Who knows? If it's still a decent price, you know? Why wait a whole other 12 months? Might as well just go sell it now. Let's see. Wood chips are pretty good. They're pretty good. They're not as good as they could be. Last month was really good. We should have probably sold what we had last month. But it's still pretty good. I would give us about $3,000. A little cloudy day today, unfortunately, but that's okay. Let's see. How'd we do here? Well, let's remove the weed here so I can actually see. Yeah, a couple of little misses here. Let's clean those up. Now, as far as the weeder or the hoe that I want to get, right, that's the other thing. If we decide to upgrade those, we probably wouldn't be able to buy the weeder or the hoe here. This is, though, I love this one, but I really like to go even bigger, I think. 250 horsepower, huh? That looks like that's the one we'd probably go with. Actually, this one's wider, 12.4 meter. Why wouldn't you go with that one? That doesn't even make any sense. Anyway. Alright, let's see if we can touch this up real quick. While the workers are finishing their jobs over there. Now, I did buy some solid fertilizer for here, as you could, I'm sure, clearly tell at this point, but just gonna state it so it's known. I did spend some money on the solid fertilizer. It was 5-ish grand, something like that. So not too bad. Alright, I'm gonna say that's good enough there. So let's take it over here to the small field. We'll go ahead and work simultaneously with the worker over here in the small field and get this all fertilized as well. Alright, underway. The worker has just now finished that field over there. Now, we do need to go around the edges there. As you can see, they have missed some. I also expect the worker here to have issues. They always seem to have issues with the outside edge for whatever reason, so I expect that to be the same case here. So we are going to have to do a little bit of touch-up work here as well. Easy there, Walter. Easy, buddy. Easy, buddy. Walter? I swear to you, buddy. I swear. No, now you're going to blow the horn at me. Go ahead. Go on, Dick. Yep, I knew he was going to have issues. He always does. There's always an issue for some reason on the outside edge here of this field. The worker cannot figure it out. No matter what they do, they cannot figure out how to drill that. So we'll take care of that. That's not going to be a problem. Last pass here, and then we will take over for the worker here and finish out the outside edge, and then we'll unload the harvester. And well, actually, as a matter of fact, I'll probably hook up the cultivator to the back of the John Deere here and have the worker get started on cultivating that field over there. Probably not going to drill it today, like I mentioned, but we can at least get it cultivated, or at least start to get cultivated, right? Field's all fertilized, so we can go put this away. Let me get all that set up and ready to go, and I will be back with you when we take over finishing off the outside edge here of this field. All right, we went with the Pottinger Rotocare gang. It's the 12400, the Rotocare V 12400. I don't know if it's 12400 or just V 12400. Either way, we went with that. We utilize this a lot. This is really the only hoe that's base in the game, I should say. Everything else is weeders, and the weeds we have here currently are a little bit too big for a weeder at this point. There are some mediums in here, so we really need the hoe to be able to pull these out of here. So went ahead and purchased it. It's not really that expensive of a piece of equipment, so I think it was worth it. It did take us under the $200,000 mark, but again, I think it's worth it overall. So definitely going to help us as far as money savings go as we carry along here, as we don't have to do herbicide every single time anymore. We're not going to get rid of the herbicide spray or anything like that. We will be keeping it. I'm sure there will be at some point that we may need to utilize it for some kind of a contract, or even on our fields, right? You never know. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, we are pretty much done here. Using this is very satisfying, man. I don't know what it is about it, but I really enjoy it. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. I'm glad that we got it. It's definitely going to be helpful and useful as we move along here. So I'm going to put this away. Oop, just going to drill that box of lime on the way, but we're going to put this away. Then we're going to head over to our sawmill area, and we're going to knock down some more trees and pull them into the sawmill. Back this into here. Plenty of room for it to go right there, so that's where we're going to put it. And we'll head on over to the sawmill. We are going to hold off on mowing the grass once more today. We will likely be mowing that in the next episode. We'll have very little to do on our farm, at least, I think, in the next episode, because I do not believe the two fields over there will be ready to harvest in the next episode either. I think they'll be getting closer, or if it is, it's just going to be one. Yeah, I don't think this one's going to be ready either. So we've got a ways to go before those are going to be ready. Alright, I've knocked a few trees down. We're going to carry this one here. It's going to glitch a little bit. Ever since they made that most recent update, it's glitching when you pick things up like that, for whatever reason. But we knocked down a few trees over here. A couple of them are quite large. So I'm interested to see what kind of wood increase we get out of that in the sawmill. We'll take this guy first, I guess. I was almost a little concerned that I just drove over this. I thought I might have been killing that crop, but still had another stage before we were going to kill it, so that's good. Alright, we're up to 6.8, so that was about a 4,000-ish liter increase, so that's pretty good. Really need to keep that sawmill somewhere around the 10,000 liter range. I think that gives you a couple of episodes of buffer in case something else comes up and you don't have the time to come over here and knock down a few more trees during an episode, right? So Probably need to get used to driving that way down the hill versus the way I'm going now. We'll gloss over that for right now. Now, I don't know how much further up this hill I can go. It wasn't a ton of trees, if I'm honest with you. Let's do a quick autosave here. I know somebody recently in the comments was telling me they were having issues and they turned the autosave back on because everything kept crashing on them, so I'm kind of glad that I kept it on. I mean, we can go a little ways, it looks like, a little bit further than I expected, but it's not too much further before we're going to get cut off here, so. I think we'll pull this tree. We're going to knock down that big tree right here and maybe take down that small tree there, and we might leave the rest for future. Now, I certainly could be attaching more than what I have right now. I know that, but... Alright, first off, let's chop down this little guy right here. This one we can pick up by hand here. I don't do this a whole lot on camera as far as the forestry work. I just don't think it's that exciting. I've mentioned that I know a number of times, but in case you just happen to stumble across this episode, it's not that I dislike doing it. I just don't think it's exciting to watch doing forestry work for whatever reason. I think mostly because if you try to put that into any kind of a time lapse of any sort, it could, you know, make you sick a little bit with, you know, the glitching and how things move around and everything. I just don't think it's the best quality. So I try to keep all this, for most part, off camera, and if I do it on camera, it's something like this, where we're doing, you know, some slow stuff, or just a few of them, where I can just talk to you while I'm doing it, versus putting it into a time-lapse format. Because typically, when you're doing tree work or forestry work, right, you're doing a lot of it, and so that would be typically something you'd want to throw into a time-lapse so you can get a lot done. But... Alright, let's see how much we got in here now. 18,000. Yep, that's good. Alright, well, gang, we are going to leave the episode at this point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate it if you smashed the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. All of that stuff helps me out a ton. Thanks so much to my 12 members. You're amazing. If you're interested in becoming a member, links in the description down below for all the kind of perks and everything you get. And, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.